while I'm creating this AI startup, I see a lot of things and I think, all right, a person that may not be as technical may look at this AI world and this AI revolution and think, this is probably above my, capabilities, right? So basically, I've been thinking, how can I make sure people understand people can do this? I am uniquely qualified to build what I'm building, but everybody's uniquely qualified to build something. I believe that. I believe everybody has seen a problem that not a lot of other people have seen. And if you could figure out how to bring technology to that problem, I think you could help people and make a lot of money. So in my case, I was looking at the retirement industry, and I was watching how my dad pretty much was not told a lot of information when it was his time to retire. And right before he was about to retire, he had all these accounts and things to help him, but nobody really taught him or told him what to do and how to look at it and how to plan for it, right? And that was pretty crazy. But again, luckily my dad did all the right things. He had a good job. He worked in a union. He had a good salary. He had a house that was paid off by the time he retired, which when I looked at all those things, I was like, most Americans are not going to have any of that, right? Like, if you look at Social Security, they're already saying we're not going to have that. Like, we're not going to have all of it, at least. When people my age and younger retire, Social Security might not be there. So my dad has Social Security. So I saw that, and I'm like, oh, wow, all right. And it's not even that much when you look at it. For the amount of time my dad worked since he was a kid, and the amount of a month that they give him, I'm like, who could live off that? Nobody could live off that. But luckily, he had a pension. He worked for a union for many years. He was in the Carpenters Union in New York City, which is one of the highest paid unions. So they had a pension for him. Again, how many people work in unions that get a pension? Not many. And if anything, the country is starting to now start to stop unions. You saw the news of Amazon. People were trying to unionize in Amazon, and they shut that down. So most people are not going to have union pensions, right? And then, a paid off home. Like, most people don't own homes in America or around the world. Most people are middle to lower class, and that means most of those people probably don't own the home they live in. They rent. So what happens when you retire, right? And when I saw my dad is the amount he had to live off of course, because he had this good job. As soon as he didn't have that good job and he had to rely only on his retirement savings, the number dropped tremendously. And I saw that and I said, wow, if my dad, with all of that, his number dropped tremendously. Imagine what a regular person that doesn't have all the things my dad has, probably won't have Social Security, will have. So I said, all right, that's pretty crazy. At the same time, of course, I was dealing with crypto and decentralized finance, and I was teaching people, I was coaching people on how to use this. So I started to try to figure out, okay, what if I can use all this new technology that literally never was available to solve some of these problems? And of course, AI had been a thing I've been talking about for years. And when you think about AI, a lot of people, I come from a creative background. I was an artist first. Stone, my man on the ones and twos, he went with me. We went to art and design high school in the 90s. And I remember being taught Photoshop. And my teachers, being regular artists that never had Photoshop, they had to draw everything and paint everything. And we as young bucks were able to use Photoshop and literally skip over so much of the skill set that our teachers had to have. And we were able to springboard off of that and create careers. Like, a lot of us went on to work in great places because we learned Photoshop so early, right? And Photoshop was this artist killer app, right? Like, people were the same way people are about this AI stuff, people were worried about how Photoshop is going to impact artists. And it did. It really did. I remember at one point I was hiring a designer for a project. This is a pretty sad story. And somebody came in from my high school, and one of my partners told me, hey, this person went to art and design around the same time you did. You should interview them. So I came in and I saw the person, and they looked familiar, but I didn't really fully remember them. My school was huge. So when I spoke to the person, they only were still illustrators. So we couldn't hire them. And I felt really bad because I was like, wow, you went to school with me. You could have learned Photoshop with us, but you decided to only stay with illustration. And now you're looking for a job. And I don't believe you're going to be able to get a job with that skill set. You're going to have to learn design. So I gave him some feedback like, look, your illustration work is amazing. I always thought you know, if you got into our school, you were good at drawing, but drawing is not enough. So now when I see this AI stuff come along, whatever your skill set is, it can be amplified by AI. And if you're not doing that and learning it now, other people are. And when you come along and you need to compete for whatever, work, eyeballs for your project, whatever it is, the people using the AI, they're just going to outperform you if you're not using it, right? So that's where I see like, I was lucky enough to see that history, and now I see it again. And I'm saying, all right, no matter what industry you're in, try to figure out how AI can help you amplify what you're doing. And a lot of people for a long time thought creativity was not going to be, AI could never do creative. They always said creativity would be the last thing AI will be able to do. But I was seeing that that's wrong. And I did a speech years ago in San Diego where I literally was a creative audience. I said, you know what? I'm going to show you that AI is already taking your jobs. And this was years ago, before all of this crazy stuff. And I showed them literally app by app. Okay, oh, you're a designer? Here. Oh, you're a creative director? Here. Oh, you're a video editor? Here. You know, or whatever you are, there's already AIs being built to take your job. That was years ago. Now the public is starting to see it. But again, I always said it's really beneficial if you use it. It can amplify your abilities. But yes, it is going to eliminate jobs. No doubt about it. There's going to be less jobs for people. It's just the truth. So if you are not one of the people that know how to wield this new tool that we've created, humans have created, you know, that this is how the human race has grown, right? Like, we use tools. The other animals that didn't survive, right? So this is the biggest tool we have as humans have ever created. So for me, I think we all need to figure out not only how to use it just to do your current job, but how to solve problems. So for me, when I saw my dad's retirement and I said, all right, this is a problem for most people. Not really a problem for my dad. It's a problem for all of us. Anybody under the age of my dad, I think, needs to really look at their retirement plan and understand that